At Greed Island, Baisuke tells us that when he heard that Gon's father was Jin Freaks, Netero said that Jin was one of the top 5 telekinetic abilities in the world. At that time, Jin had not yet appeared in the work, but it was revealed that he was one of the strongest in the world. Now that Jin has appeared and shown us a glimpse of his talent, the credibility of this statement has increased, but one thing we are wondering is who are the other 4 one of the top 5 telekinetic abilities in the world? In this issue, we will predict those 4 people. If you enjoyed the video, give it a high rating. Let us know what you think of your predictions in the comments. 1. Beyond Nero. Beyond, who claims to be Nero's son, appears as the leader of the Dark Continent expedition when the Kakin Empire declares its expansion into the Dark Continent after Nero's death. He has a way of speaking and looking reminiscent of Nero, and a charisma that attracts people, and the 12 Zodiacs say he is just like Nero after hearing Beyond's speech. His greatest achievement is that he went to the Dark Continent and came back alive. About 50 years ago, he joined a survey team as one of the experts and challenged the Dark Continent. He was investigating to acquire the alchemical plant Metallion, but when he did not heed Nero's advice and went off route, he came back with a great number of victims and a new disaster, the zombie disease. At this time, only 6 people were able to return, including the hunters who had contracted the zombie disease. Beyond was one of them. Moreover, he does not appear to have any of the characteristics of a zombie disease patient, so we can assume that he does not have the disease either. This is where the toughness of Beyond can be considered. Netero, in a way that puts a fetter on his failure, made a rule that I will not allow you to go to the Dark Continent until I am dead, not because his son would die if he went to the Dark Continent, but because he was concerned that he would cause many other victims and bring back a new disaster. In other words, Netero is acknowledging that Beyond is strong enough not to die even if he goes to the Dark Continent. Also, Netero also asks the 12 zodiac signs to lead the conquest of the Dark Continent before my son, and from this, it seems that the implication is that if Beyond advances to the Dark Continent first, he will be conquered, does not it? From these facts, Nero fully recognizes the strength of Beyondo, and since few people have ever returned alive from the Dark Continent, he must be one of the best in the world. 2. Macha Zordic. Macha Zordic is a member of the Zordic family and is the high-grandfather of Kirua and grandfather of Zeno. He is as old as Nero and has fought a battle with him. Zeno says that Netero is the only person who lives to kill with the Old Man of the Eagle, suggesting that Macha is stronger than Netero on equal terms with him. Zeno, Macha's grandson, is also the most powerful in the series, kicking out the Mafia in the Yorkshire arc, hunting down Cloro, and helping him and Nero break into the palace in the Chimera and arc. Although he has yet to show his full strength, he is recognized by Nero for his strength. Zeno was raised by Macha, and Macha says that he has never seen anyone other than Nero survive a fight to the death. Macha is an almost mysterious figure who appears only once in the work, and although he is now an old man and will have declined, it is certain that in his prime he had a power comparable to Nero's. 3. Kuroro. Kuroro is the leader of the infamous bandit group, the Phantom Brigade, and is a charismatic leader of 11 members. He calmly silences Nobunaga, a member of a group who tries to act as he pleases to avenge his comrades, with a single word, "Shut up," and has an atmosphere that even Gon is threatened by his glare. His telekinesis ability, Skill Hunter, is a trait-based, powerful one that allows him to steal other people's abilities and use them as his own. In addition, the original telekinetic who has their abilities stolen loses their abilities and cannot use them. Kuroro faced off against Hisoka in the Sky Arena, and by loading Hisoka's countermeasures and gathering his abilities, he overwhelmed him with no damage and choked him out. Against a fighting maniac whom no one seemed to be able to beat in the whole work, he showed overwhelming power through a combination of strategy, physical ability, and other factors. He completely blocked his opponent's ability to fight with bullets, which was his forte, and used explosions caused by dolls to narrow down his attacks from a distance, leaving him at his wit's end. From this, we can see that Koro has not only high physical ability, but also high intelligence to analyze the weaknesses of his opponents. Also, against Zeno and Silva in the Yorkshire arc, he fought them in a 1-on-2 situation, not fighting seriously, but exploring to steal their abilities. On the contrary, Zeno and Silva had received assassination requests, so even though they were fighting with the intention of killing Chloro for sure, Chloro was not serious, which means that he is likely to be stronger than Zeno and Silva. He also has a strong spirit that does not waver even when captured by Kurapika, and he united members with strong habits such as Ubogen, who has the power to break the ground, and Phaeton, a psychopath who loves torture, making the name of the Phantom Brigade so threatening that everyone knows it. We do not know if Nero is acquainted with Chloro, but there is a good chance that he will be named one of these 5 psychics. 4. Don Freaks. Don Freaks is the author of The New World Travels, a book containing information about the Dark Continent, and is said to have explored the continent alone 300 years ago. The character is unknown, and it is not even known if he is still alive, but Jin's bold observation that the reason why only the East and West volumes of The New World Travels have been found is because Don is still alive and writing, suggests that he is still alive. Since it is written that nitro rice, known as the ultimate longevity food, and herbs that cure all diseases exist on the Dark Continent, it is thought that he is surviving by eating them. If this is true, then it is almost certain that the Don Freaks are the strongest people in the world. This is because he has been living for 300 years on the Dark Continent, which mankind has retreated from every time it has attempted to expand. Even Nero gave up on conquering the Dark Continent when he came face to face with the huge creatures that inhabit it, and even beyond has not succeeded in conquering it. It is a land that even Jin has not yet conquered. No matter how much life-prolonging food there is, survival is impossible without the ability to fight the diseases and dangerous creatures of the 5 major calamities. If this is the case, we can expect that they have telekinesis and combat abilities that are hundreds of times stronger than any hunters currently in the human world. Moreover, we can also read that he can afford to do so much research on the 5 major disasters and returns in such detail that he can compile it into a book. The name Freaks suggests a connection with Gon and Jin, and since he seems to be an ancestor of the two, he may have a natural talent as a telekinetic like Gon and Jin. These are the considerations for this issue. We know that the characters introduced in this article are strong, but we have yet to see their real battles, so we would love to see their all-out battles in the future on the Dark Continent. That's all for this time. See you in the next video.